When we deal with core ABAP, the main ABAP, these are the areas what we have to learn. 6 areas, out of which R stands for reports, I stands for interface, C stands for conversion, E stands for enhancement, F stands for forms, M stands for module pools. Also nothing but the screen programming. So these are the areas what you have to learn. So even though you are feeling here 6 areas, actually it is 5 areas. If you remove this E, enhancement, if you know how to create a small report, you can add extra fields to the report. So we call that as enhancements. If you know how to create an interface, you can add some so extra fields. You can add extra fields for interface. Now, when you say conversions, when we say conversions, hold on 1 minute. What is this? Now, so if you know how to create a report, you can add some extra fields to the report. If you know how to create an interface, you can add some extra fields to the interface. Similarly, if you know how to convert the data, you can, if you know how to convert two fields, converting third field is not a big deal. If you know how to create a form, how to add extra fields to the forms is not a big deal. Enhancement is nothing but how to add extras to these things. How to add extras to these things. If you know how to create, you know how to add extra. If you don't know how to create, you cannot add extra. So these are the areas what we have to learn. But when we are covering the topics, we'll tell like that only. These topics, these are the topics what we have. Out of which your 90% of ABAP basics are over here. 90% will be over here only. Remaining 5 topics compromise of 10%. So if you know how to play with reports, so the first 2 months will be behind reports only. All your programming fundamentals will be covered in reports only. If you are strong in this, if you don't listen to this also, you can easily learn and do. But you are listening to this carefully without understanding this concept, you cannot do any one of this. Even though you understand what is interface, you cannot do it. So this is the basics. So you have to make sure that at least the first 1 month course is very very crucial. The first 1 month will cover the basics. From that means from today onwards, next 30 classes, you should not take any break. If you take break, you will get confused. After that, okay, it's okay. If you take 1 or 2 days leave, also not a problem. So try to be regular. So now we are example of this. What let's see. When you log on to your say Redbus or IRCTC or something, after you log on Redbus or IRCTC, what will you do? What will you do
Login.
Click
after log on?
book a
After
ticket.
logging in to book a ticket, before booking a ticket, what will you do?
Uh,
Yeah,
Will
on
Searching.
the
search for the places.
destinations.
Date
You
and
have
destination.
you have to see whether the trains are available or not. Directly you will book a ticket, or will you see date range?
We see source and destination and the date.
Fal-
You are searching for the list of trains available on the particular date. Yes or no?
Okay.
Initially, we
Yes.
should enter also the destination after date and then we will search the trains, no, sir?
Yes. What is the first thing you have to search or not?
We have to.
So without searching, will you book the ticket directly?
No.
So now here what you are doing first? First what you are doing? You are giving source
Uh,
station, destination station, and a particular date. If you give all the three for that combination, if any trains are there or not, it will show. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
List of trends.
List of trains available. So whenever you are dealing something, this type of programs are called as reports. What you are doing in screen one, you are giving some inputs. In screen one, you are giving some inputs. Based on the inputs, my program will search the database. My program will search the database and gives you the output. So in a report program, we will display the data in rows and columns. What is train number one? What is train number two? What is train number three, four, five? Arrival time, departure time, etc. So for the given inputs on a particular source and a particular destination on a particular date, show me all the trains which are available. Displaying your data in rows and columns is called as reports. So in a report, we have to design output screen, we have to design input screen, and then based on the input, I should get my data. Based on my input, I should get the data and print it on the screen. So already we have seen how to design a basic screen, how to design the basic, sorry, not how to design the basic tables. We'll have some data here, table 1, table 2, table 3. So now I have to write a program to get the data from the tables and print it on the screen with rows and columns. This is what we learn in reports. Now, we can't learn everything on one day. If you sit for 5 hours, I can explain. But if you sit for 5 hours, only half an hour to 1 hour class will go into your brain. Remaining 4 hours class is gone. So to completely understand the report complete flow, it will take some time. So first we'll see piece by piece. First we'll see how to design the output screen. Then we'll see how to design the input screen. Then we will see how to connect these output screen and input screen with the database. One day at a time we will do. So when you do after today's class, you'll have some doubts. But after this Thursday or Friday, you will have a clear picture, complete picture. Okay, this is what we do in program. So report programs, we are searching for the data and displaying in rows and columns are reports. Now, after doing the reports, after you find a train, what will you do? You are selecting a train and booking a ticket. Now to book a ticket, what you will do? To book a ticket, what
Uh,
you will do?
User
We'll give
information.
the name, use
The
information.
Will give
passenger
personal
detail.
details.
Enter passenger details.
Passenger detail. Passenger one, so and so. Passenger two, so and so. Which berth you want? Which, etc., etc. After selecting next, it'll ask you enter your credit card or debit card details or account details, etc. So we have to design some screens where we can take some input fields and save it to the database. These names, whatever you are giving, the passenger details will get saved to the database. How to save the data to the database? We will be seeing in module pool screen programming. So we have to design some screens and see how to save the data. So saving programs, for saving the data, we have to design some screens. Right now, TMG is doing for me. TMG is generating one screen. You are using the same screen. Now the end user didn't like that screen. I want name 1, name 2, name 3 side by side. But TMG will give you name 1, name 2, name 3, one below the other. But I want one side by side. I want country and city side by side. I want currency amount, the salary and currency side by side. But if you see the TMG screen, everything will come one below the other only. By default, SAP will put everything one below the other. The end user didn't like the screen. Now they will ask you to write the program. Screen programming is nothing but module pool programming. Here we are getting the data and displaying. In this, we will save the data into the database. So module pool programming. But right now, if you don't know module pool program also right now, not a problem because we can do the data entry using a TMG. We have an alternative option right now. Okay, so we'll be learning after learning the reports, we'll see this part. Now interfaces. Interfaces. What is interfaces? After you book a ticket, you are booking a ticket 1 month or 2 months advance. In before only you're booking a ticket. You lost that message or whatever it is. Then what will you do? You can log on and you can take a printout or you can take a SMS, get into your mobile.
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no?
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Now IRCTC is using SAP. IRCTC is using SAP. Your mobile is using SAP.
No.
No.
No, sir.
No.
Android.
But when you say send SMS, your SAP data is coming into your mobile. That means non-SAP data is coming into, sorry, SAP data is coming into non-SAP. So how to communicate with different systems? How to communicate with different systems? That we will see in interfaces. Interfaces is the mode to communicate with different systems, SAP to SAP or SAP to non-SAP. Communication. For doing communication, we use interfaces. This is also called as conversions. Sorry, this is also called as cross applications. Cross applications. When you are communicating with different applications, cross applications, you have to convert the data. So these two are combinedly called as cross applications. Cross application is not a separate topic. In the starting, when I used to explain like this, people used to say, "Sir, you are not teaching cross applications. Cross application is not a separate topic. It's part of SAP ABAP, which is these two. These two are also called as cross applications." But to fool you, some people, some institutes will cover ABAP bar CA as if it's a separate topic. It's not a separate topic. It is part of ABAP. So these two combinedly called as conversions. Enhancements. Already I told you what is enhancements. Adding some extra fields to reports, adding some extra fields to interface. If you know how to create, you can do the enhancement. Forms. To take a printout on a paper with logos, colors, fonts. How to take a printout on a paper with colors and fonts is what we do in forms. Example, when you print a ticket, when you see a mobile SMS, the mobile SMS will have only 4 lines. What is the train, what time it is starting, what is your PNR number, etc. But if you take a printout of it, you'll see lot of things. When you have booked, where, what date you have booked, what time you have booked, what time the train will come, what time it will leave, more details you will see. So when you want to print a ticket, you have to print more details with colors and fonts. So how to print the data with colors and fonts is forms. So one topic will cover one area. So first we are starting with reports. So to start any programming, ABAP editor, we have to open ABAP editor. SC38. SC38 is the ABAP editor. So now open SC38. So log on to your screen. SC38, enter. So here we will start the programming. All your programs should start with customer namespace. All your programs should start with customer namespace. We are using the customer namespace Y. Or if you want, you can use Z. Y or Z. If you start with any other name, it will ask you for access key. Some people will start, even though I'm explicitly saying this concept, some people will start with some other name and say, "Sir, it is asking this screen, sir. Why, sir?" It won't allow. SAP is not allowing you to create any program with other alphabets. SAP uses other alphabets, and SAP is saying you use these alphabets only. My system is configured to use Y or Z. So for your batch, you follow the naming convention Y8B. Test 1. I am creating some test 1. So give you some program name. Spaces are not accepted. If you want spaces, use underscore. Create. Create. Test program. Test program. And for report programs, for this type of programs, report programs, we have to select executable. Executable. What some people will do is, first they will explain all these. On day one only, they'll explain all this. But if I explain all this, you don't know which area to use what. Example, when you design the module pool screen, we have to use module pool. When you are learning interfaces, we have to use interface pool. Like this, we'll use one topic in one area. So I don't like to explain everything in one shot. Today's topic is reports. So for a report, we have to take the first option, executable program. So next 10 days, we are behind executable program. After you are comfortable with executable program, then we'll go to the include program. Then we'll go to module pool program. Like this, one by one will increase. So as of today, executable program. That's it. We don't give anything else here. In real time also, we don't give anything here. We'll give only the title of the program and the type of the program. I'm trying to create a report programs are called as executable programs, are also called as standalone programs. So select the executable program and click save. It'll ask you where to save. As of now, save it as local object. Save it as local object. Local object is nothing but a temporary folder. We are storing it in temporary folder. What is a package? To understand the package, we require some more fundamentals. So now, as of now, we are staying storing in a local object. So the ABAP editor will open. So this is the ABAP editor where we have to write the code. Now every report program should start with report. This should be there. If you delete this, your program won't work. So here we have to write the code. Now what code we have to write? Let's see. So now my requirement is, so whenever we are designing a report, we have to design three things. We have to design three things. One input screen, one output screen, a database, and a program to connect all these three. We have to learn these. So we have already learned how to create a database. Basic tables I have seen. Not completely, we have seen at least 80%, 70% database. This is already there. Now we are seeing output screen. Nothing but we call this as basic list. Basic list, or also called as simple list. So basic list or simple list is nothing but your report. Then we have to learn input screen. So how to design the input screen? We will see this on Wednesday. Today and tomorrow we will concentrate on this part. Today I will introduce, tomorrow I will revise. After revision, then we'll go to this topic. So today's topic is how to design the output screen. So now what is my requirement? We have to write the program based on the requirement. If this is my screen, if this is my output screen, I want something here. Customer details. I want something here. Customer details followed by date. Date, time, date and time, followed by customer ID, customer name, customer name, followed by customer city, followed by customer postal code, followed by serial number, what material he has purchased, what quantity he has purchased, what units he has purchased, what price he has purchased, what currency he has used, a underline, serial number 1, 2, 3. As of now, I want a program somewhat like this. So whenever you are designing a program, first we have to design a layout. First we have to design a layout. Now, if you go to, say, let's assume if you go to some central mall, the bill what you get for any customer, the format is the same, but the data will be different. So for one company, we'll have one format. So on the same format, we'll print the bill. Only the details will be different. What details, what items you are printing on, what date you are buying, what time you are buying, what is your customer ID, what is your name. This data will be different. but the layout will be the same. In a report, first we have to design the layout. After designing the layout, we will print the data. So today's topic is how to design the layout. So this is my requirement, this is my layout. So I want to design this. So the keywords to be used today. So we are learning new keywords for programming. So the first keyword what we'll do is write. Write. Whenever you want to put anything on the screen, on the output screen, we use write keyword. We use write keyword. Now like this, we can give pages and pages of notes for write statement only. But I don't prefer to give pages and pages of notes like this because you are not going for a essay competition. No one will ask you in the interview, write a essay on write statement. So pages and pages of theory is of no use. Instead of that theory, we can learn two more practical examples. So I prefer to explain more examples than theory. So if you practice, automatically theory will be covered. But if you study theory, practically you cannot do. So whenever you want to do anything in the output screen, we have to use write statement. Now we have to learn type 1. Type 1. The syntax of type 1. Syntax. Write in single quotes whatever you want to write. Write in single quotes whatever you want to write. Example. Write hello Srinivas. So now SAP is not case sensitive. Here you can use uppercase, lowercase, or combination of uppercase as well as lowercase. Combination of uppercase and lowercase. WRRITE. So see here I'm giving uppercase and lowercase also. And all the text should be enclosed in single quotes. We don't use double quotes. Note, the text should be enclosed in single quotes. In SAP, double quotes is used to print comments.
అదెందుకు పడిపోయింది గాలికా
In SAP, we use comments. So here we are using single quotes. So single quotes. Every line in SAP, every line should be ended with period. Nothing but the full stop. So in SAP, every line will be ended with a period. Now I wantedly select gave wrong keyword, wrong keyword. So after completing the program, we have to check the syntax. Check the syntax. If you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh button. Seventh button, check syntax. First, check the syntax. It will throw error. The statement WRT is not designated. A correct similar statement is right. So it is giving what error you have done. So I am correcting it. I can give uppercase as well as lowercase anything. Now I forgot to give period. Check syntax. The last statement is not complete. Period missing. Line number 12, period is missing. So we have to give line number 12, period. Check syntax. Syntactically correct. Syntactically correct. So indirectly the program is checking your grammar, how you are using your grammar here. So if you are feeling perfect, SAP is saying, okay, this is perfect. It is giving you successful. Now we have to convert this to machine language. We call it as activation. Check the syntax, activate, execute. These three buttons we will use regularly. Check, activate, enter. Activate the program will convert to machine language. The English statements will be converted to machine language. Execute the program. Execute the program. So you are saying hello Srinivas. This title, if you see test program, in the starting when we create a program, we are giving this attribute screen. This screen is coming in the starting. So in this screen, whatever title I gave, that title is getting printed here. The title is getting printed here. So now, hello Srinivas. Now I don't want this here. I want this in the center. I don't want this here. I want this in the center. So this program, type 1, wherever the cursor is at that time, the text will be displayed there. Text will be displayed there. Example. Let's assume this is my output. This notepad, what you are seeing is my output. Whenever you open any output for the first time, the cursor will be there in the leftmost corner. The cursor will be there in the 0th position. As in SAP, the position start from 0. So the cursor is waiting at the 0th position. Now, when you say write something, immediately it will write that. Hello, Srinivas. So wherever the cursor is, there it is writing that value. But I don't want this here. I want this somewhere in the center like this. So I want some gap here. So if you want a gap, you can do it like this. Hello, space, Srinivas. So in the single quote, I am giving some spaces. I am giving some spaces and then writing hello Srinivas. Activate. If I execute, so see here, some gap, hello Srinivas. This is one way, but this is not the right way. So we have something called as type 2. Type 2. Take the cursor to particular position and write. So syntax, write at 40. Hello. If this is my screen, if this is my screen, the leftmost corner is always 0. 0th character, first character, second character, third character, fourth character, fifth character, sixth character, seventh character, eighth character, ninth character, like this it increase. Okay, so now this is 0, this is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, this is 50, this is 60, this is 70, this is 80, this is 90. Like this the screen will increase. Like this the screen will increase. So always the leftmost corner. Line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4, line number 5, line number 6, line number 7, 8, 9, 10, so on. Now I want, by default, when you open, your cursor is there in the leftmost corner in the 0th position. So when you simply say write hello, it will print hello here. But I don't want to print hello there. So I'm giving some position. Take the cursor to 40th in that line. Take the cursor to 40 characters and write hello there. So now what I am doing, write, instead of these many gaps, I am putting write at 40. So what the output will be? Check the syntax, activate, execute. Execute. So you are getting it 40 characters gap. If you count here 1, 2, 3 like this, if you count, the text will be 40 characters. No, sir, I wanted 70 characters. Sir, means take the cursor to 70 characters. So the position, whatever position you want, that position you want. Now, what is my requirement? If this is my requirement, I am writing something at 40. So after writing this text, what I'm there 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. So my cursor is waiting at 56. So here instead of hello Srinivas, I will say customer details. Customer details. And then I am writing again without position. I am writing it again without position. Date. I want to print the date. So where this will get printed? Where this will get printed? Ideally speaking, when you are not writing anything, the cursor is there in the leftmost corner. Now in the first line, you are taking the cursor to 40 and writing customer details. So the program is taking the cursor to 40 and writing customer details. After writing customer details wherever the cursor is, there it will leave a space and write date there. Because you have not given any position, wherever the cursor is at that time, there it will write. Check syntax, activate, execute, execute. So now customer details and date coming side by side. But my requirement is I want some gap here between the customer details and date. I want a gap here. So what I'm doing, let's assume between customer details and date, I want 20 characters gap. I want 20 characters gap. Now this is again an interview question. How we'll ask? I am printing this at 20 and ask what will be the output for this. And I'll ask what is the output for this. I'm saying write this at 40. Then I'm saying write this at 20. So now initially my cursor is there in the leftmost corner. So it is writing at 40. After writing 40, if you count this 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. The cursor is waiting at 56 position. The cursor is waiting at 56 position. So some people will say to this it will add 20 characters. No, which is wrong. Now where you see position number 20 in the screen? Where you see position number 20?
Left to the customer
20.
details.
Yes, sir.
Here, before the customer details. So you are telling the system that write at 20 the date. You are telling the position right at 20th character. So always the position will be calculated from the leftmost corner. The position is always calculated from the leftmost corner. You are saying that right at 20. So my system will understand that okay, I should write at 20th position. So if you see here, the output will be we are writing date after the customer details, but still it will get printed before the customer details. Execute this. So before the customer details, it is printing date and then customer details, which is wrong. So you want this after. So your cursor is waiting at 56. 56 plus 20. 56 now. The cursor is waiting at 56. 56 plus 20. So write this at 76. Activate. So first you should understand what you are doing. By default, the machines don't do any mistake. The machines cannot think on its own. Whatever you tell, that it will do. So you have to tell boss, please write this at so and so position. If I execute, I will get that here date. Now I want time. I want time. Where I want time?
Below the date.
Below the date. Where I am writing the date? In which position?
26.
76th position.
76.
76, not 26.
76.
76th position. I'm 76. So time also should come under the same 76 position, but in a new
Yes,
line.
sir. Correct.
Same, same 76 position, but in a new line. So
Line
now
number 2.
what I am doing? What I am doing is wantedly I am doing a mistake. Wantedly I am doing a mistake. Write at 76. I am writing time. What will happen? So what will happen after
What hap-
writing this example? After writing the date, The cursor is waiting at somewhere here. Date 77, 78, 79, 80. The cursor is waiting at 80. But still again you said write at 76. Immediately the cursor will come back and overwrite this time. So you cannot see the date. Overwriting. Execute. So it has overwritten. It should not overwrite. So what you have to tell the system, boss, take the cursor to the next line. Forward slash. Forward slash. You are telling click enter after writing the date. Click enter. Enter is nothing but forward slash. When you click enter, example, I am clicking enter now after writing the date. After writing the date, I click enter. Where the cursor is?
First zeros position.
Zero, zero.
On second
Second line. Second line,
zeros
zero
position.
position.
Yes, sir.
So it will write the time there. So I have given just forward slash here. Activate, execute. If I execute, the time is coming in the leftmost corner, but I don't want it here. I want it under this. So what I should do now? Take the cursor to 76. Take the cursor to new line, and after taking the cursor to new line, take the cursor to 76 version and write down the time. Execute. Execute. So take the cursor to the new line, and in the new line, take the cursor to 76 version and write the time. So I'm writing the time. So now the third type, type 3. Type 3. Write forward slash hello forward slash. Take the cursor to new line. So as of today, we are seeing three types. Type 1 without any position. Type 2 with position. Type 3 forward slash with position. Forward slash indicates new line. So you are clubbing forward slash and position together so that you want it in the desired line number. So any report I can do with write statement. That's it. So now my requirement is this. To achieve this requirement, I will use only write statements. So let's see how to do these write statements. Let's see this. So now I'm closing this SC38 Y9B report 01. You please don't use this sequence. I'm using this sequence. When you are creating a program, give your name or something so that you can easily search. Example, I'll for your B10, if I say Y10B, Y10B. So for your 9 batch, I am following some sequence Y9B. Now Y9B star. I can see all the programs which are created for the 9 batch. I can see all the programs which are created for the 9 batch. So now your batch also I'm following one sequence so that tomorrow it will be easy for you for reference. You people create some new sequence. So I'm starting with Y8B first report 01. Okay.
Total how many positions in one line, sir?
We can define it later, but as of now we are not defining it. So as of now it will take 120 characters by default, but the positions will change based on your screen resolution. But we can override that. So the position, how to define the page, first we have to define the page. How to define the page we'll see in the next class. As of today we are only understanding about the right keyword. Okay. So suppose your company is taking the printout on A4 size. What will be the width? If your company is taking on A3 size, what will be the width? Suppose if your company is taking the printout in a postcard size, what will be the width? So first we have to identify on which page your company will take the printout. Based on that, we have to define the positions. But how to define the positions we are not learning today. First we are seeing how to print a simple report. So now I am creating report number 1. Create. So come to SC38, give some program name and say create. Give a meaningful name. Customer slip. Type executable. So report programs are executable programs. Save it, local object. So now you will get the ABAP editor. You are getting the ABAP editor. Now you can write the ABAP editor whatever you want. Now don't delete this report. Now here you can write hello and give some gap, write hello and give some gap, write hello. Now how many gaps you give here does not matter. When the compiler compiles a program, the compiler will remove all these unnecessary gaps. It will remove all these unnecessary gaps. To make your program readable, you can give how much lines you want. But these lines, whatever lines you are giving, won't impact the output. So you are free to give as much as gap you want. So now what is my requirement? Now what you see here, if this is my screen, what you are seeing in the above?
Gap.
Now whenever we print anything on a paper, whenever we take a printout on any paper, we have to leave some top margin.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
If you don't leave the top margin, the data will be printed from the first line itself. But ideally, from the school, from the left side, we'll leave some margin. From the top, we'll leave some margin. So now I want to leave some margin. So I want a gap. So by default, when you open any output, your cursor will be there on the leftmost corner. Now, the leftmost corner is the zeroth position. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line. So the cursor is there in the first line, zeroth position. Now I want 2 lines of gap. So where shall I take my cursor? To which line shall I take my cursor?
Third line.
To take the cursor to the third line, I am saying right forward slash enter. Right forward slash enter. That's it. Forward slash enter. So what will happen? Initially my cursor is there here. For the first enter, it will come here. Ramya. So for the first cursor, it will come here. For the second enter, it will come here. So where is my cursor right now?
Third line. On third line.
Third line zeroth position.
Third line. So right now, when you are writing, you have to imagine. If you can't imagine, at least take one more page like this and say, okay, my first keyword is making the cursor here. My second cursor is making the cursor here. So right now my cursor is there in the third position. Now I have to take the cursor to somewhere middle. Somewhere I want to take the cursor after 2 lines of gap. I'm writing my text somewhere here. So now what shall I do? I should take my cursor somewhere here. For doing it, I'm going and say write at 40. Write at 40. What you want? Uppercase I am giving customer slip. So in the third line, I am taking to 40th character and writing customer slip. But suppose if I give like this forward slash 40, what will happen? Again I'm using forward slash. So because I'm using forward slash again, the cursor will go to the fourth line and write customer slip. So 3 lines of gap will come. Now if you want 3 lines of gap, leave it like this. If you want only 2 lines, don't put forward slash. Don't put forward slash. No need to put forward slash here. So now you are writing customer slip on the third line. So after writing, the cursor is waiting at 56th position. Now in the same line, take the cursor to 75 and write date. So now my cursor will go to 75th position and write date. Now if you see my output, I want my output in the next line. So what shall I do? Write New line 75. You need not leave a gap here. Just to make you understand easily, I'm leaving a gap here. What to do? Take the cursor to the next line and write time. Check the syntax. Check the syntax. Activate. Execute. So now you have to imagine how the output will look like. So what you are doing it like this. So when I execute my code, I should get the same output. Execute. Check the syntax, activate, execute. So customer slip, date, time. How to print the date and time? We should not hard code the date and time. The date and time should not be fixed dynamically. What is your system time? That we have to print. So how to print that we'll see later. First we are designing the layout. So date and time is over. So till this part, my output is over. After that, what I am seeing?
Customer
Well,
Gap.
ID.
And gap.
Yep.
I'm
gap.
gap. So if you want a gap, what you are doing?
Forward
So
slash.
my cursor is there in the
Forward slash
my cursor
two
is
lines.
my cursor is there in the fourth line. Fourth line. Now I want 5 and 6 gap. So what shall I do? Right,
Yes, sir.
Forward slash.
right,
Forward
forward
slash.
slash, right, forward
Forward slash.
slash. So 2 lines of gap. Now right in a new line. So I want third line also. So I'm giving one more gap and then I'm taking the cursor leftmost corner. Now if you see in the leftmost corner, I want some margin. So I'm giving some margin. For the time being, I'm not using forward slash. Right at 10. What? Customer ID. Customer ID. Right at 10. Example, customer address. Right at 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna
Customer name.
override.
Right at 10. Customer city. Now, now, if I write my output like this, forget about all this. Forget about all this as of now. If I execute this part of code, what will be the output I will see?
Only
And
customer
last
city.
one, customer city.
It's good. Yeah.
Customer
It's
city.
gonna override.
Again, if you are a fresher, I will ask questions like this. I will give 3 4 lines of code and say what will be the output. I won't give you the laptop. That means you have to analyze this in your brain. What will happen? Write customer ID. So whenever I write something, suppose example, somewhere here at 10, it will write customer ID. Now somewhere it is in the seventh line or eighth line, wherever it is. Depending on the gap you are leaving above, the cursor will be there in the seventh line or eighth line. So now let's assume the cursor is there in the eighth line. So when I say write customer ID, it is writing the customer ID. But here in the next line, I'm not giving forward slash. So cursor won't go to the new line. The cursor is staying in the same line. And then you are saying customer address. So again, it will go to 10th character and write customer address. ADDRESS. Then again, you are saying in the same 10th line at customer name. Customer will be written by customer and NAME. NAME. Next, city. CITY. So what you will see?
It is customer
City.
But
city and
you said it will write customer city. It will not write customer city. It will write customer city SS. Now check the syntax. Check the syntax. Activate. Execute. Execute. So customer city SS, which is wrong. Okay. So now we have to make sure everything should go to new line. This should be a 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 new line. So after two lines of gap, I am writing everything in a new line: customer ID, customer name, customer address, customer name. I'll do one thing, I'll put somewhat like this. Now if you see here, I am leaving two lines of gap, but this gap won't come in the output. So now if you see here, I am giving two lines of gap in the program, but this gap won't come in the output. So activate this, execute this. So see here, I am not getting any gap here in the output. I am not getting any gap in the output. Ag, 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 ag. Wait on, hold on 5 minutes. So now here I am getting the output. In the program, if you give some gap, you won't get any gap in the output. Your gaps will only depend on how you are placing this forward slashes. If you give forward slash, then only you'll get the gap in the output. Simply giving gaps here won't give you any output gap. So you should know as a developer when to use forward slash, when not to use forward slash. So now I have done my program till here, till customer city. Now I want some one line gap. I want some one line gap. So wherever you want a gap, write forward slash. One line gap, write. Now I am drawing one new line, underline. How much line you want, you use. So I'm using shift underline, shift minus key, so that automatically I'll get a continuous line. So I'm getting a continuous line. Then I'm taking my cursor. Then I'm taking my cursor to new line, and then I'm saying write, write at 10 serial number, serial number, write at 10 serial number, write at 15 material, write material. So this I am writing at 10th position because all are coming in the same line. I am writing at 10th position serial number. Then at 15 I am writing material. At somewhere at 30 I will write quantity. Somewhere at 30 I am writing quantity. Somewhere at 45 I am writing units. Units. Somewhere at 55 I am writing price. Somewhere at 70 I am writing currency. Again I am writing underline. Follow this carefully. Very, 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 very important observation. I leave a gap here. So now what is happening? After writing the customer address, etc. After writing customer ID, customer name, etc. After writing all this, I am taking the cursor. I am taking the cursor, and from here I am writing one line. Now after writing the line, I have not used forward slash. So what will happen? In the same line, again my text will come here and write here serial number, and again it will come here and write material. Again I will come and write quantity. Overwriting. Check the syntax. Activate. After writing, again I am not giving forward slash. Again I am not giving forward slash. So again my cursor is there in the same line. So again after writing serial number, quantity, etc., again it will try to write an underline overwrite. So if I execute this, see what happens. See what is happening. I am not getting the data correctly. I am not getting the data correctly. So I want an underline, then text, then underline. I want some text, new line, new line, some write this at 10, write this at 10, underline. Sorry, write this 10, underline. Write the 10 serial number, write a 10, underline. Check the syntax, activate, execute, execute. So serial number, material, quantity, units, price, currency. Now reduce the underline how much length you want. Reduce it to how much length you want. So I am reducing. So only playing with your right statement. Report is nothing but playing with your right statements. Execute. Now I want serial number 1, serial number 2, serial number 3. Three items. Three items. Write in a new line at 10. 1. Write in a new line at 10. 2. Write in a new line 10. 3. Write in a new line 10. 4. Write in a new line 10 at 5. As of now, I am only giving an option to print 5 lines. I am only giving the option to print 5 lines. And then again underline. Again underline. Check the syntax. Activate. Execute. So serial number 1, serial number 2, serial number 3, serial number 4, serial number 5. But can you give guarantee that every people will buy only 5 items? So this should be dynamic. But we have not seen how to do dynamic. So that will be our coming topics. As of now, we are limiting that if a person is buying 5 items. Example, if you see if you go to railway station and fill the form, in the form they will give you an option to print 6 passenger names only. You can only in one form you can write only 6 passenger names. If you want one more, you have to take one more form and fill the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So here, as of now, I'm doing on a restriction. I'm based on a restriction. I'm doing condition that I want 5 lines. But now, if you ask me, sir, how to do dynamic, that will be our coming topic. Everything we cannot complete on one day. So today we are only seeing a simple way of designing a layout. Once the layout is ready, the date will be different, the time will be different, customer ID will be different, name will be different, address. How to print the data, we will be seeing once we club all. We have to get the data from the database and print. So after designing the input screen, then we will link it. So when we are linking input screen, output screen, database, then you will see the data here. But first, understand how to convert, how to write the output. Now, on Friday when I am explaining this program, On Friday, I will show you how to print the data here. On Friday, I won't explain the code so much detail like this. I won't say this forward slash 75, etc. Because by Friday, we will do revision also. Tomorrow also we'll do revision. So revision also will be over. So on Friday, I will assume that you already know how to print this data. I will only show you how to print the date, how to print the time. So beside the date, how to print the date. Beside the time, how to print the time. That I will show you. Only whatever is extra, I will show you. Sir, I am confused here. If you say on Friday I'm confused, I can't do anything. Please practice the same topic on the same day. Today we have seen one keyword, three versions. This is today's topic. Now I explain you practically how the keyword 1 works, how the keyword 2 works, how the keyword 3 works. Practically I have shown you. I explained you. Now, some people, uh, videos. So, till 3 years back, that means before Corona, I never used to take online classes, only offline classes, pure offline classes. I don't like to take online classes. So when it's an offline classes, automatically people used to come. If I start at 8 o'clock, people used to come at 8 o'clock. For offline classes, we will never share any videos. So I have total 16 plus years of experience, out of which nearly 14 years we have not shared any videos. All are offline classes. So in the class of 20 people, definitely before completion of course, 10 people used to get the job. After the course is over, 5 more people used to get the job. 5 more people used to get the job after 3 or 4 months, because they are not practicing, they are not coming regular. In every batch, 2 3 people will be there he won't be regular. So they used to get the job later. So my success rate was 100% at that time. Till 2 years back, my success rate was 100%. But from past 2 years, my success rate is only 20%. So I'm not feeling bad to tell it. So I am trying my level best to teach it. How I used to teach offline classes, in the same line I'm teaching online classes also. But online classes, people will be showing interest for the first 10-15 days. They will show a lot of interest. After 15 days, the laziness starts. Today it's raining, it's cloudy here, I am feeling sleepy, so for today let's sleep. Anyhow, sir will send the video, we'll see later. That's enough. Tomorrow, once you postpone to tomorrow, that tomorrow never dies. Now, before coming to the class, today my favorite hero movie released. On the release of RRR, the class strength was 6 people. Now, you might have asked me a holiday on that day. Sir, we want holiday, I would have given. But they have not asked. Half of the people are went for a movie. Now, Prabhas or Ramcharan won't feel bad if you watch the movie at 12 o'clock. So, you need not bunk the class. After the class also, you can go for a movie. But you opted for movie. Next day, whatever topic I covered, sir, I'm not able to understand, sir. What can I do? Why? Who asked you to be absent? So online classes, people will switch on their classes. Now, if I ask you to switch on your videos, the bandwidth is very high. So automatically, or because of the high bandwidth usage, the voice etc. is not getting clear. Clarity is missing. So I'm not asking you to switch on your videos. So automatically, I'm not monitoring. So some people will switch on the class and they will do their personal work, seeing WhatsApp, etc. So remember one thing, you came from a schooling from LKG to PG. In your school, did they ever shared you any video? Forget about the
No,
people who have done online classes last 2 years. Forget about last 2 years. Before 2 years, have they shared any videos to you
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
in a school? How many periods you used to attend?
eight,
7.
Some schools will have
eight,
five, some schools will have 6 or 7. Now 6 or 7 periods like maths period, science period, physics period, you are listening. And then after coming home, you used to do your homework, or you used to wait for the videos or someone to come and help you.
every time.
So from that, when you are remembering to in the classroom what the teacher is saying, you are remembering. After the maths class, you are listening to science class, you are remembering. After science class, you are remembering social class, you are remembering. You are remembering those many things. But by the time I come now, online classes for 1 hour class, what we are covering in 1 hour class, we are referring. hardly 2 to 3 topics. Can't you observe? Can't you remember? Can't you practice after the class? You require the video, but who are depending on video, people who are depending on video, I am right now outrightly I'm telling, they won't get the job easily. They won't get the job because once you come to the company, you won't carry all these videos. You are getting habituated of a video. If I have a video, I am seeing the program and doing it. But once you come to the real time, where is this program to see? From day one, try to remember, observe, listen, remember, repeat. So once the class is over, have your breakfast and start practicing. Try to recollect what I have explained you. I will definitely give the notes. So using these notes, what we have recollected, if you can recollect, fine. First, the first 4 or 5 days, it will be difficult for you to do this. But from 6th day onwards, you don't require anyone else to do a program. You can do it on your own. This is called as practice. If you practice like this, initially it will be difficult. But if you practice like this, you can get a job. Now, why we share videos? My internet is good. That does not mean your internet is also good. Or in your area, due to some rain or something, power cut is gone. So that is not in your hands. So you can't attend the class. So if you miss the class, what will happen? So for that reason, if you miss the class, to have a recap, we are giving the videos. But the people who are attending regularly, videos are is of no use. Don't depend on videos. Don't wait. Let sir tell send the video and then I will practice. If that is the case, you are gone. If you want a job, listen carefully. Continuous 1 hour. Tell your parents, don't disturb me. If you are studying, no parents will disturb you. They will be very happy. So go to a separate room, switch off your mobile, attend the class. And if you feel anything is important, take down the running notes. Make a habit of taking the running notes because the client won't dictate any notes to you. When the client requirement is given, they don't dictate notes. So if you feel that anything is important, take down the notes. And then whatever assignment is given, do it, repeat it. So as of now, I'm not giving any assignment. Just get habituated with the screen. ABAP editor. So tomorrow we'll revise this with one more example. So now tell me, right statement is tough or easy?
Easy.
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 Easy. But when you try to do it, it will confuse you. It will be a bit confusing. But if you practice for 2 3 days, that confusion will be cleared easily. So practice makes everything very simple. So just practice. Today I'm not giving any assignment. Just you have to recreate this assignment once again, whatever I explained in the class, without watching the videos or without watching the program. You have to complete this.